Hey, this is Corey with Welcome to Die Gaming. As you can see, it's the Final Fantasy VII Remake. The demo hit last week on a Monday morning, which is probably about the worst time for most people. They had like all weekend to do it. Just wanted to give my take on it. Of course, I love the original, and it's one of the top 3 RPGs of all time. The remake is more modern and akin to something like Final Fantasy XV, and Final Fantasy VII demo. Really, there's different modes you can do. Normal, classic. Normal is just like a straight hack and slash. The classic is supposed to blend the modern day with the old style, which a lot of people just don't understand why they just refuse to do. Square Enix refuses to do turn-based RPGs still. So, that's been a thing since Final Fantasy 13, maybe even since 12. I never played 12. But Final Fantasy 7 demo looks absolutely gorgeous, and even better is, look at this, it's pretty ridiculous. It does seem like it might be more of a cinematic experience. I mean, they're breaking it up into chapters, and it comes across as spreading multiple releases, which I guess with the way the new consoles are going to go with the backwards compatibility, it's not going to really affect the transition going from this generation to the next generation. But what is really strange is how long are they going to pull this out for? Like, what are they doing with this particularly? Like, everything from the first game for part 1 is just focusing on Midgar and the first power plant. And, the demo feels a lot, I hate to say it, feels a lot like that Chapter 13 in Final Fantasy 15. It's very linear. Granted, this is the very first, introductory part of the game. And it's very linear. The classic mode, which I went with in the demo, and it's probably about 30 minutes long, it does stop time and allow you to do stuff on the fly, but it's still not completely consistent. Granted, this is the demo. The actual game comes out in about a month. And yeah, I'm still looking forward to it. I did really like 15 just because the battling was great. This one's going to be about the same thing, but a lot of people are already irked. There is a cell phone in one scene, and that rubbed a lot of purists the wrong way. I mean, I kind of brushed it off. But, with them modernizing everything now, between Capcom with Resident Evil and now Square with Final Fantasy, it takes away from what made the original such a good landmark. The game could still be good, but it's really hard to call it a remake. They should have just called this Final Fantasy VII 2020. Switching between characters on the fly, it's not necessarily something you can do when the... I take it back. It is something you can do during the classic when the time is stopped. It's just not fluid, and I guess it'll take more time to get used to it and acclimated to it, and maybe over time I'll get it down and really like it. I almost feel like it's more of a nuisance, though, and they just kind of added it in because people were wanting something, and it almost hinders what the fluid hack and slash appeal can be. Because when you go with Cloud through these early sections up to the boss battles, and the boss battles are really just you take on the giant scorpion robot thing at the end of the demo. Obviously, there's spoilers, sorry. And it's just kind of wide open. Anything kind of goes. Yeah, there's weak points you hit, but it just all throughout is 100% action. And it's almost kind of like when Resident Evil went to 4. But, the Final Fantasy games have been this for a while, but you take the story to 7, you create this cinematic experience that they're wanting to do with this. And yeah, it looks gorgeous, and you also wonder, out of these 60 hours, how much is actually going to be gameplay? They're promising 60 hours. But if we keep going through stuff like this that tells a story, you're basically playing a movie with some action in between. There is no like running and all of a sudden the time stops and you get bosses. Bosses are just out there. And there's the sneak mechanic still exists that you got in 15 and get ahead on them. It's really just going to be Final Fantasy 15, but set in the 7 universe, and they've thrown in a classic mode. Is that going to please everybody? Absolutely not. Is the demo fun? It is. It is very linear though, but it is again a demo. Just wanted to throw something out there and take. We haven't shot video in about a month. Me and Rob and Joel kind of agreed that we do want to shorten the length on these things unless we're, have a guest like Jared or, somebody like that. And that will be coming soon with Silent Hill. Jared and Rob will go at it and discuss Silent Hill. I'll just be kind of there for the tag along. But we will have a Castlevania episode coming up too, which will not be super long, but we do understand the time constraints. People don't want to watch stuff for an hour. Now, if it's a podcast, that's different. But just wanted to chime in on that. At the same time, if you haven't gotten the Final Fantasy VII demo yet, do it. It is exclusive to PlayStation for a time period. What'll be really amazing is when this hits PC. But 15 came out, they didn't think they kept saying it wasn't going to hit PC, then it did. And now that thing's a monster. A lot of rigs really can't handle it in Ultra 4K at least any more than like 45 frames per second. But this thing is wonderful. And, well, that kind of throws up the whole argument. This game is definitely something, as you can see here. I'm not using my own. I just pulled a video from YouTube. Actually, he is. Look at that. Is totally using the classic mode. One thing I do want to add, as I already got off topic, as I do. There's going to be Punisher attacks and Operator attacks. Basically, a strong and a weak attack, but it's all it's super combo breaker. Barrett's going to be used for long range with his gun, and it's got different things different weapons not mounted, but different options to attack with. That kind of mixes things up. You can see here, this player is using the classic mode and locks on to different people, but in the heat of the battle, you don't kill one person and then they get a chance to fire back. It's just stopping in the middle, or you begin your attack and it stops. You go from there, but then you go after multiple, and there could be, I guess, a quick swap in there. But either way, a lot of this is linear corridors. It is Midgar. If you do go back to the original game, obviously the game didn't get out or open up until you got out of all of this. One thing that bothers me a little bit in terms of common sense is when the reactor starts to blow up, there's still soldiers in there just kind of standing there and waiting for you to come through. You would think everybody would just want to leave because it was going to blow up, but it is Shinra, so they could be like kamikaze soldiers used to be in World War II, or just anything they hang around. But it's you would be hunting something, but nah, they're just standing there. I don't know. It's gonna have its legacy Final Fantasy stuff that'll make it feel kind of familiar. But otherwise, the game is absolutely gorgeous. Even on generic PlayStation 4 and not PS4 Pro, it still looks great. Might not get the frame rate bump, but it still looks great. But anyways, I'd say if you have any interest in it, the demo swayed you the other way, I'd still take a chance on it. There's a very good chance that everything opens up further down the road. But yeah, you can see there, tactical mode. Yeah. Anyways, go get the demo. It's fun, but it might piss off some purists. Anyways, that's all I got. Subscribe and like our videos, please. It'd be cool. And look forward to our Castlevania stuff coming up and our video with
a good thing I know
Jared
someone
from
who uses
Avalanche
the
Gaming.
passcodes.
Oh, that's another thing. I didn't realize where Jared got his name Avalanche from until they said it in the demo.
And we're good.
Smart, right? Right. Anyways, thank you.